Driving from a call, we saw a dog in the middle of the road. He was sitting and did not let us pass. I work in an ambulance. This story happened during one of my shifts. It was approaching evening, it was beginning to get dark, and it was drizzling outside. We were returning from a call when we noticed a dog in the middle of the road. When the ambulance approached the animal almost closely, it was not afraid. Moreover, the dog simply did not budge. The driver stopped, hoping that the dog would give way, but he did not react at all. He simply looked at the people through the car window. At the first moment it seemed that the dog was waiting for us, so he was not at all surprised by the car that stopped next to us. Every ambulance worker has a dozen strange stories, but none of our team has ever encountered anything like this. So we watched the animal in silence. A few minutes later the dog was in the same place and just looking at us. One of the nurses could not stand it and got out of the car to drive the animal off the road. As the man approached, the dog seemed to understand what would happen next, so he resignedly stood up from the asphalt and stepped aside. The nurse returned to the car, but before the driver had time to start the engine, the dog returned to its place right in front of the hood. When the nurse came out again, the animal did not leave. With all his appearance, the dog seemed to demand that the person follow him. The man decided to see what would happen, so he turned on the flashlight and motioned to the dog that he was ready to follow her. The dog led the man to a dark section of the roadside, where an elderly man lay there, unconscious. The entire team immediately got to work. We soon took our patient to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed the man with a stroke. As it turned out, the dog went to the store with its owner, but on the way the man became ill, he lost consciousness, and the dog rushed in search of help. The animal ran after our car all the way, and then stood guard at the hospital door. When I started my shift in the morning, I saw this dog once again. The animal was sitting at the door of the hospital and practically did not move. The dog responded to my call and came up. I began to pet and praise the dog, telling him that I had never suspected that animals could be so attached to humans. The dog behaved very affectionately, as if he was thanking me for helping his owner. This story is similar to the plot of the movie Hachiko, but it had a happy ending. The man was cured. At the exit from the hospital he met his pet and together they went home.